My friend, and welcome back to my channel. My name is CaitlinAnwyn for anyone who's new here, and let's get back into building in Planet Zoo. And today I'm continuing in the giant safari habitat for our Africa Zoo. I took a little break from this last week because I wasn't really sure what to do, and I did a little bit of brainstorming, and I thought it would be fun to do something that makes the safari ride a little bit more exciting and gives the animals in this habitat somewhere for a bit of shelter. As you can see, I'm trying to build like a tunnel for the safari ride to go through, and on the one side I'm gonna create a shelter for the habitat animals, and then on the other side I'm going to try and blend this little hill into the rest of the habitat. I haven't really got into doing natural terrain. It's kind of why I'm using this map. It's a pre-terraformed map by swoop_day, and I've linked their blueprint from Steam Workshop and their video on how they made this whole map, because terraforming, things like that, are not really my strong suit. But it was fun to try and like play around with this and try and make something that could be kind of natural. I didn't want this like tunnel to look like it was just popping out of nowhere, so I tried blending in this hill into the middle of this habitat for like a gradual incline up to this tunnel part, and to make this like middle part a little bit more interesting because the track goes on either side of this, so like the track will go through the hill and then go next to the hill. Thought that would just make the whole habitat ride a little bit more exciting. These habitat builds usually take me at least 4 hours to do, and I always like edit my own videos. Obviously I record my own videos, but I always edit my own videos as well. So this takes like a lot of time to do to try and get 2 videos up a week, as I like to do on Wednesdays and Saturdays. If you don't stick around to the end of the video, no big deal, that's usually when I tell you. But trying to get 2 videos out a week, building for 4, 6, 8 hours for each habitat, and recording and editing my own stuff, it takes a while. So I always try and find ways to make building quicker and still have like interesting build videos. Obviously I want something that's still clickable, that people still want to watch, but I always try and find tricks to make things quicker to build but still look good. Planet Zoo is just super time consuming. It's really fun because you have a lot of creativity and control in whatever you want to do because of the like flexi color. For example, you can make anything any color you want, and the advanced move tool where you can put things at whatever angle you want. There's things like that that make the game really fun and allow people to be like super creative, but it also means that it takes a while to do. But yeah, I really like the way that this like flattened to foundation incline makes the hill look. Instead of it being just like a sloped hill, it's got like levels to it, and I can like create those in different shapes so they look a little bit more natural. I'm not really the most proficient at doing natural looking builds, but it's been a fun challenge this zoo trying to do that. This was like super relaxing at the same time. Like pulling and shaping the ground like this, it's really, really relaxing. It's like almost like those satisfying videos where they like use that kinetic sand stuff and make shapes out of that kinetic sand. This is kind of what terraforming feels like. It's kind of like that kinetic sand thing where you can like make shapes out of it and cut it however which way you want, and there's usually like a sound effect to the terraforming as well, so if you've got that on, it really feels like those satisfying videos. This is like the 5th video that I've done for this zoo, and I still haven't got a solid name for the zoo yet. I had a comment suggestion to do a mix of Arabic and Welsh for my own language, I guess. I was thinking for the Welsh side, I wanted to do something like Noddfa, which means sanctuary, and I was trying to think of something that would be typical, like zoo related, for the Arabic word to go with sanctuary, which would be the word for animal. So like animal sanctuary. This zoo is going to have really, really large habitats, and it's going to really feel like the animals are free roam and kind of not in a habitat. So I have this word that Google Translate has told me, so if it's off in any way, I'm sorry, and I will put the correct pronunciation on as well. But there's an image of a tiger underneath, so I'm hoping it's the right word for animal, or like wild animal, which is Hayawan. Hayawan. I will put it on now.
Hayawan.
So I was thinking maybe Noddfa Hayawan for the name of the zoo. Go in with the general rule for how sentence structure is in Welsh, which would be the opposite of English. Sanctuary animal instead of animal sanctuary. So it's nice to finally have a name for it. So let me know what you think in the comments. And in my mind, I was thinking maybe the ground level would have a little bit more water, because obviously water doesn't collect higher up, it will flow down. So I had more of the like green, thick trees at the bottom of the hill in like a nice flowing pattern. And then right at the top of the hill, the like spikier looking trees, because I'm sure somewhere along my education journey I think I learned that plants with thinner leaves can hold more water, so like they won't lose water as quickly because they have less surface area, that's the word. So I put like the spikier smaller trees up at the top of the hill, because that would be a place where there would be less water. And going with what I said, that there'd be less plants at the top of the hill, I thought I'd make like a little meadow at the bottom of the hill where there would be more water, and add in some of that really pretty grass that I like because I added quite a bit of that in the oasis part of the habitat. So adding some in again will blend the whole habitat in together, and some of the African daisies as well for a little pop of pink. I gotta put it in there somewhere. Just a little bit though. I don't want it to be too colourful. The animals I've included don't really like a lot of plant coverage either. Speaking of though, I have added in some new animals into this habitat. The main one I was thinking of would be the reticulated giraffe, or just the regular giraffe. They were like tricky to include in this habitat because I needed to make a tall enough shelter for them, but I also added in the sable antelope and the springbok as well, I think. So currently we have the Southern White Rhino, the African buffalo, the giraffe, sable antelope, springbok and Thompson's gazelle in this habitat so far, and I've still got quite a few that I would like to add in too. But what I'm trying to do now, on this side of the little tunnel, I wanted to make a shelter for the giraffe and the rest of the animals, and for it to feel really natural. Kind of inspired by Pride Rock, but not Pride Rock. So we still got like this outcrop of rock on this side, and it's tall enough for the giraffes as well, which is good. But I wanted it just to feel natural. I didn't want this to have like a man-made kind of shelter just plopped in the middle of this realistic safari type habitat. Giraffes sleep a minimum of 30 minutes a day. Like, that is a nap. That ain't sleep. But trying to get something for them to sleep in when they don't sleep often doesn't feel super realistic to me either. But I still wanted to do something. This shelter doesn't provide 100% of the shelter need for the giraffes, but it's something for now, and we still have more space to fill things in for this habitat as well. This won't be the last part for this whole habitat. And with this like flat piece here, I thought maybe we'd add in a little bit of like people into this and add in like a little sign for whatever habitat is close by. And I start off with this, but I will come back and I'll make this look a little bit more natural. But I wanted it to say next stop Penguin Town, so we could tell guests where they're going to be stopping and what kind of habitat they're going to see close by. And I also wanted to add in a little bit of lighting in this tunnel. I didn't want it to be spooky. It's not like a scary ride. The like fire torch thing, I think that was from the Arctic pack, made it kind of spooky instead of just kind of adding in a little bit of light. So I use these like oil lamps, I think they are. They look like oil lamps anyway, from the Indian style. They're really pretty, and adding in a little bit of the Indian style blends in the habitats with the buildings, because the buildings are a mix of like African style, the African pack style, and the Indian style. So it's nice to mix them all together, and they work off the grid. Oh, that's a little bit of Sims mixed in there. Oops. But they work without power. So now I'm coming back to this sign for the side of the shelter, next stop Penguin Town, because I wasn't particularly happy with how man-made it looked. I wanted to use the African style signs, and I liked the font of the editable signs instead of using the lettering, because the letters, like the individual letters, were a lot bigger than the font on the editable signs. I did try out with just the letters, but I could not fit next stop into the things, and that was just, I didn't want to really make it any bigger than that. The planks of wood are from the new Africa style, and I really liked these wooden planks. They have like weathering to them. They feel like they're a little older and they've been out for a while. And for the next video I will use these a lot more, because as soon as I found them I was like, I need to use these in something. And it kind of glitches a little bit. You have to play around with it a little bit, so it looks like it covers the sign and then you zoom out and it pops back out and you can only see the sign and the planks of wood. It does kind of merge in a little weird, but it does work. And if you play around with it and you like how the signs look at a certain angle, I played around with it a little bit so it would look nice for the thumbnail, basically, because that's kind of half of the job. For videos, like, no one's going to click on it if it doesn't look interesting on the thumbnail, so you want to find out how I did it. It's like the point of these videos, right? I want the whole safari habitat to be finished before I go through on the ride, because I think the ride would be a little bit boring for now anyway. There's not a lot to see. I'd rather wait until we have all the animals in and everything decorated nicely. Let me know what you think about this new little tunnel hill for the safari. If you've got any suggestions for any animals to include into this zoo, I would totally appreciate that. We will be doing hippos in the next video. There was a suggestion, but anything else, let me know what you would like to see. Any animal from the Africa continent. It doesn't have to be from the Africa pack, and And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, and if you haven't already and you would like to, it would mean a lot to me if you could subscribe and hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I upload on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Goodbye!